Yeah, poor animal's dead, so there's absolutely no blood circulating through his or her body. Right? What does blood bring with it as it circulates through the body? Oxygen. And it's the oxygen that gives you the elasticity of all the muscle groups, the flexibility of all the muscles in the body to move freely at the will of your mind that's controlling them. Okay? If you have a lack of oxygen in your body, what happens is the musculature in every part of your body starts to slightly constrict, and you have less control over it. Okay? So that's why you have to go to completely full to completely empty. Because when you're on the 50-yard line moving at 180, just about to do a backflip and play double forte, all right, you have to have complete control of your air, or you're going to spin around and fall down. All right? Or spin around and go, with your sounds. All right? So you've got to learn to get the air out and to be completely full and full of air. All right? So the diminuendos are where you're starting to not have complete muscular control. You've got some CO2 built up in the lungs, so you don't have the same control of the flexibility of the muscles. Okay? So get the air out. Get the air out. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same exercise. We're going to do it at 160. Now, you say, why are we doing this exercise again, Mr. Downey? Because you have at different tempos and different speeds, you have different challenges from a point of view of musculature. Okay? So I want you to understand moving fast without tightening or constricting. Moving fast without tightening or constricting. And you can do a better job getting all the air out, and then a better job pulling all the air in that quick breath without any guttural sounds. Got it? Set.
5, 6.
Exercise not only as, well, let me see how many brainiacs we have here. Take a look at the exercise. What is the purpose of this exercise? Raise your hand. Yes. Tuning. Exactly. What were you going to say? Bing, bing, bing. Two true right answers. What else? Yeah? Yeah. Pitch. Tuning and pitch, same thing, but yes, okay? You only get half credit for the no. Exactly. Tuning, because what happens is each section is exposed individually. So you can do your level 2 listening. And we also start to tune octaves, with the exception of the flutes, who are kind of actually on their own. There are matching pitches. So we'll start out with bari sax and tuba. Then we go to B-flat tenor saxes, baritones. Then we go to E-flat saxes with mellophones. Then we go clarinets and trumpets. So not only are we working on pitch within our section, we're tuning one section to the other. All right? Very, very easy. And then from there we go into a tuning progression. It gives you the opportunity to tune the fundamental of the chord, the fifth of the chord, get that nice ring to that perfect fifth, and get the third of the chord perfectly in tune as well. So it's without question a tuning exercise. It's a tone exercise because you have to play with your best quality of sound at all times. It is without question a balance exercise Because once we start to get into the harmony of the triads, we have to have equal weighting of each chord member, so we get a good balance within each chord. So tuning, tone, balance, and we're going to add a fourth quality to this. We're going to add this as our volume extension exercise. This is where we're going to learn how to play at louder volume levels with a great quality of sound, with great tuning and great balance. So first we're going to do this very simply. We'll go ahead and do it at just a mezzo forte volume. Everything will be at mezzo forte. So you get the idea of center of pitch, center of tone, doing level 2 listening within the section, level 3 listening with the ensemble from a point of view of balance and pitch. Okay? And then you'll be able to get a great idea of what the exercise really should sound like. Then we're going to start to push the volume levels just a little and see how much control you can have over it. All right? Go to set, please. Let's do this at... let's try it at 1:30, and let's see where we are. We may go faster with this one, too, as well. Mezzo forte, no dynamic shaping. Everything's at mezzo forte. And you understand what your musical responsibilities are. Keep your ears and your eyes open. Set.
5, 6.
Was it perfectly in tune? Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of flutes that were like out of pitch from each other.
A lot of pitch, yeah, exactly. A lot of, did you say flutes? Well, it's your section, of course. A lot of flutes not in tune with each other, which is really true. Yes?
There are breaks whenever changing the section.
Yes, there were breaks. Now, actually, I want to tell you, that's the $5,000 answer right there.
Yeah.
And that is the answer that, is really the most important part about this. Remember how I asked you to initiate your tone? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was going to say something else, but...
Well, is it a good one?
Well, like the sustained notes, we need more low notes, because it was more like top heavy.
Top heavy in relationship to tone, or relationship...
Or like
Pitch
pitch.
was a little on the high side. Certainly, without question, some sharpness and flatness individually. And a lot of inconsistency in the tuning in the center of the pitch from play to play within the section. Okay? Going back to the point of view of the point about the initiation of tone from each section, there was a little bit of each section sustaining and actually dropping their volume before the point of release, rather than keeping the air pressure totally consistent to the breath that we've always taught you and asked you to do consistently. But more than that, the initiation of the tone. Remember, we keep talking about you initiate the tone with to get the correct air pressure and focus of tone and pitch. The air has to be perfectly at the correct speed with the correct pressure, initiated by the lower abdominals. Right. So we're not getting tone, touching tone, touching tone, because the section that's playing has a tendency to ebb, E-B-B, okay, instead of maintain and breathe perfectly in time. And the section that's entering is not getting a good tonal focus, correct volume, or pitch center, because they're not initiating with the lower abdominals. Okay? So now, that technique is most important. So one tone of one section has to touch the next tone of the next section that has to touch the same tone in the next section. I'm talking tone. But could you hear the differences we had in tuning from section to section on the same note? It was like, okay? Now, if we had time, what I would suggest that we would do, and we don't have time today, but you will in the future when you have an opportunity to break this down technically, is everybody take out their, their tuner, and everybody tune their individual instrument so that you're as close to A440 with a great quality of sound at a good, maybe mezzo forte to forte volume level. So that way, when you've got the lengths of your instrument correct, you're going to have a better opportunity to sound the same pitch within the section and the same pitch from section to section and octave to octave. Okay? We don't have the time to do that now, so you have to make individual changes with your ear on the length of your instrument during the course of this exercise. Okay? Or after we perform the exercise. So, let's do this one more time. We're going to do it, I think, a little fast, around 140. Okay? And we're going to do it now. Let's do it at the same volume level. But here's what I'd like you to do. Is there a crescendo that's written on that page anywhere? No? Okay, well, I'm going to put one in. Dee, dee, dee. Right there, we're going to crescendo. We're going to crescendo from mezzo forte to forte. Then you're going to play the rest of the progression at forte volume level. Okay? So one more time through the tone and pitch matching, through the progression, and then we're going to start to work on the development of volume at the peak volumes and see if we can do that as well with a great sound and great tone. Here we go. Set. Roll. Very nicely done. Wow, relax. All right, now I know everybody agrees with me. Wasn't that 100% better? 100% better. That's a truckload, okay? That is a truckload of much, much better performance. Now, why was it so much better? Wait a second. No, I forgot my magic dust with me, so it couldn't have been the magic dust. What was it? People thinking, hello, white kersey clue phone. You all picked it up at the same time. Okay? Yes, you concentrated on, oh my God, what's that word? Your air and breathing and support. My goodness, how do you, and God, it got better in tune. Did everybody pull their slide out? Push their No. It's the air. Okay? So that's a lesson to be learned, how much better it was when you use your air correctly. Now, if anybody was paying attention, I was telling each section to breathe the last 2 counts before they played. Just like you do with 5, 6, breathe 2, play. Right? So make sure you're filling the body full of air in those 2 counts before you make your entrance. All right, now, we won't go to the first. What we're going to do is we're going to go measure 7 to measure 11 right now, which is ba-dee-dee. All right, and all I want to do right now is just that much. Dee-dee-dee. And I'll sustain it, and then I'll release it. Okay?